Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Stories from the Scriptures. I'm Ryan D. I'm going to take a moment to talk a little bit about the scripture that we read in the New Testament, which is, I tell you, from Yahushua HaMashiach. It says, I tell you, that is said to in the scriptures of Matthew, Luke, and in Romans, where Yahushua says to love thy enemy. Let me explain. Love thy enemy does not mean that you don't defend yourself. Love thy enemy does not mean that you don't eradicate evil or take out anyone who is trying to violate you or your family, who is trying to steal from you. It does not mean any of that. And to turn the other cheek, which is another verse that people use against us, and why Christians think they're not allowed to commit any kind of self-defense against anyone. So let me help everybody understand this. When there is a situation where you have an enemy, or you are a part of a battalion that has to go and protect or take on the enemy, and you in return capture the enemy, what it means is that you food, you shelter, you treat them with respect, you take care of that person, you love thy enemy. It also means that we don't hate no one. Our enemies are not to be hated. We're not to hate our enemies. Sometimes our enemies are given bad information, or they're taught a certain way, and they don't really know what they're doing. And we'll defend ourselves, but then in return we may have an opportunity to minister, to teach, and to show the real love. So again, love thy enemies doesn't mean lay down and die like a dog. It's not what it means. Love thy enemies is exactly the way is what I pointed out. You gotta respect and honor and keep it real. And sometimes enemies will have to die. That's just the way that it is. And in some cases, you're gonna have to risk your life against enemies. And you would hope that in return, that if you do risk your life and you die, and you've treated enemies with such love and respect, that in return, when you are not here, that your enemies will do the same to the people that you are with. Yahuwah be with you.